Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Gemini April 2023 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. Great to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Always great to see the subscribers. Much love and affection to you always. And in fact, I've done a number of clairvoyant readings from different parts of the world for you, and you know who you are, over the course of the last month, as well as some healings as well. And if you feel drawn to see what's involved in a clairvoyant reading or a healing with me from anywhere in the world, just check out the information that's in the description box below. Now, as the subscribers know, there are no video advertisements breaking into this content, so you get to enjoy the experience uninterrupted. And now we're going to take 5 cards, because 5 is all we need. They speak volumes to us in our readings, don't they? And so let's get it underway and see what there is. You look like you're sticking out, whoever you are. There's the 7 of coins. Here is the Queen of Coins. Well, it looks like it's going to be quite a materialistic sort of a month for you. Very healing as well, I might say. The King of Cups. Here is the 3 of Clubs. Interesting, isn't it? 3 of Clubs. I'll have a look to see what that has to say to me in just a moment. And there is the 10 of Cups. Well, as is our usual practice, why don't you come now, sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Okay, let's have a look at this 7 of coins that you drew first. Now, just some vibe around here of you being hesitant about undertaking something to do with your life. Just a sense of hesitancy around here. Could be with respect to a relationship, could be respect to things to do with work, things that you're undertaking. And why would that be? It's because it is Saturn in the 3rd decan of Taurus here. That's the 11th to the 20th of May, incidentally. Now, Saturn is the slow-moving and restricting planet, and Taurus is the fixed sign of Earth. So it's sitting there. It's the bull. It doesn't want to move anywhere. And together, those sort of energies can feel like, to you, a stagnation, I think. Now, there may be the feeling that you have a restriction on something that you want to do. You might be feeling resigned about the situation you're in, or hesitant. Or you may fear apparently insurmountable obstacles. It's almost as if there is a fear of falling. There's a fear of mistakes that could touch your business or financial situation, your physical condition or health. You see perhaps apparently insurmountable obstacles in front of you. Is that the case with you? I can't believe that is. We'll talk about this further. And you believe that you may not be able to jump over these hurdles. But look at the number of coins. There's the 7, but look at these 2 big things. They're about to come falling down, raining down upon you. So these terrible images that rise up threateningly, they will be dissipated, and perhaps you draw back resigned and limit your actions to old and familiar ways of dealing with problems. You know, there's nothing wrong in being hesitant to enter into something or hesitant to do something while you check it out and check out to see what all the pros and cons are with the situation. But where that hesitancy is one which is unfounded, which comes about as a result of fear, a fear of moving forward, then that's something that you in particular should not be having to do or to contend with. Let me tell you this, that imagine this, if you will. The ideal situation for a man or woman to die in is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. And imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed, and standing around your bed are the ghosts of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and that you, for whatever reason, you never went after that dream. You never lent in for that kiss. You never said those words, you never used those gifts. And imagine, if you will, that there they are, those ghosts, standing around your being, looking at you with large angry eyes, saying, "We came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with your body forever." And imagine, if you will, what love, what words, what gifts will die with your body. Their own miscarriage is your bodily death. Do you know, the greatest wealth lies not in the oil fields of the Middle East, nor in the gold mines of China and Australia. It lies in the cemetery. The greatness we have never seen, the joy never passed on, the words of sweet love never spoken, the talents, large or small, never actualized. So it may be that you feel that your ability to deal with things or to move forward is blocked by heavy and fearful expectations. Well, you should now look really at their content and their quality carefully. What areas of your life worry you the most? Write a complete list of your worst expectations, and then take a new piece of paper and change each fear into its positive opposite. And keep working with these lists, change them when necessary, and decide consciously. Look for someone who's going to support you in this. Say this to yourself: I have the courage to believe that all that happens in my life serves for the best. I am willing to release all that is not serving me in my life. I have been born with the sole purpose, and I am going to pursue it. Yes, really, you of all people. I mean, you're brilliant. Brilliant mind. Let's have a look here. Who's this? The King of Cups. Well, what do you have to say to me, my good fellow? First of all, he's saying that he thinks that Pisces and Aquarius are going to be important with you. Now, as a person, now this could be a man or a woman. This is somebody, I think, with commitment issues. They're friendly, but sort of passive. This might be someone that you know here. This is someone who's attracted to excitement, and somebody who has an unsustainable enthusiasm, someone who is sensitive, but really deep down is somewhat shallow. He's mostly passive with the qualities of Venus or a weak Jupiter, and he is friendly in that passive way, but on the whole, he's so superficial that it's hard to reach his depth. His name is written in water. Now for you, though, I think what this means here is that that's someone who you might know. But the other side of this energy is that it's asking you to surrender to your beloved ones, that you have a capacity for giving and of reaching higher emotional planes and spiritual relationships. This person, I keep coming through here, this is someone I think who mismanages their affairs all the time, and without luck, their background, their resume is an unbroken record of failure. And this is the King, fire, in cups, water. They're in conflict, you see. So this is a person who has mental civil wars going on that can lead to substance abuse, maybe even mental illness, like a bipolar or ADHD. Certainly someone who's prone to abuse stimulants and narcotics. This other person that could well be here for you is, now the lesbian and gay audience, please make the necessary adjustment, but this is somebody who loves the opposite sex and the opposite sex loves them. This is a person who is charming and attractive, but probably not very deep. Someone who's ruled by the emotions, not very practical, and actually somebody who's going to try and flatter you and talk their way out of paying their share of the expenses. They can be very insecure, needing constant reassurance, and at worst, they're unfaithful, fickle, shallow, highly emotional, and unreliable. But I think for you, though, this speaks to me of a time of great inner contentment and great happiness, which is going to radiate outward to enrich those around you, either emotionally or spiritually. I think there is also the case here that you really are looking for the intensive interchange with those of a like mind, intellect, and like outlook to you, aren't you? And how can the interchange in your relationships be enriched? Seek out your true family, the community in which you feel at home, and there you'll find the quality of the communication that you are looking for. And say this to yourself: now is the time that I can find the contact that I need. Now, where shall we go next? Let's have a look at King of Cups. 3 of Clubs here. This is a fire card, this Clubs, and that's why you get that conflict actually heightened with that person there, which is why I speak to them in what might seem to be unflattering terms, but that's what it means. And that's what it does. Now, this 3 of Clubs is a different thing altogether for you, because this is the Sun in the 2nd decan of Aries, which is the 31st of March to the 9th of April. Well, this is the Lord of established strength, and this is about birth, creation, and manifestation. This number 3, you see, for me, has a mystical association with development, the development and growth of the fetus. Now, incidentally, just to recap on this thing here, and I know why you will overcome this. I spoke to you of those 2 things which are going to overcome that sense of hesitancy with you. It's because that number 7 there, I have an association with the mystical association with the planet of Venus, but in particular, I have a mystical association with that area of divine emanation prior to the emergence of space and time from the divine, which we mystics refer to as victory. So you do overcome those things. And this card here is showing you also how and why you are doing that, because this is talking about you. Well, the Sun in Aries, the Sun is in exaltation in Aries, and so this placement is very favorable. And as you know, Aries enjoys a challenge, doesn't it? And Aries suns are happiest when their lives are moving forward. Now, the other thing is that there's this number 3 here as well, which is about growth, development, as I say. This is a period where you will have a great degree of integrity, honesty, and you do overcome this hesitancy into self-confidence. And in fact, you're not going to be making any compromises at all, because I see what's happening here is that once you've banished that hesitant thought or state of mind that was there, that your ideas actually begin crystallizing. And this is confirmation that you are on the right path. Now, you may well find that you're thinking about a hobby, turning it into a business perhaps, and there's also business expansion around here. I think that what you have here is that you perceive and allow your own power, free play, never giving it over to someone else in an attitude of subjugation. And despite external dynamism, your center remains untouched and clear. The wisdom within you is strong enough to repel any anxieties and doubts which may have arisen. The brooding, analytical considerations of the intellectual mind don't stand a chance when you are filled with this life energy and vitality. Indeed, you now have the direction to apply yourself in order to be of best service to yourself and to the world. And I think what's happening here is that I think this energy here is about looking inside and outside with integrity, honesty, and no compromise. Now, actually, it may also be asking you to check the honesty and integrity of somebody else. And I think that somebody else might be an Aries. But it's important for you to operate from a place of integrity before making any decisions at the moment, and have clarity of mind and heart before acting to bring about the best results. And unless you have that clarity, don't act. But if you do have the clarity, now is the time to act. So pay attention to your own point and internal stillness. Center yourself and overcome. And there are now no reasons for self-doubt. Are there any reasons for self-doubt? Do you yet doubt your virtues? If you are not centered and feel doubts lingering within, then push them aside. I have the power and virtue to reflect and know. That is your mantra at this time. Now, there was another person around somewhere, and here she is, the Queen. Hello, Queen of what? Coins, okay. Oh, that makes sense, of course. Now, this Queen of Coins is saying to me that, well, she's saying that Capricorn and Sagittarius are liable to be important to you as well. Now, I'm going to refer to her also as a woman, well, to her as a woman, but in line with my previous comment, the genders are fluid in these court cards. But this is someone who, as you will be, ambitious, affectionate and kind, charming, practical. This is very good for people who are involved in home duties, incidentally. So, and as a queen, she is water in earth. And so she has the ability to make things come to life. She has the ability to make things happen, to make things grow, as you will be. You will be ambitious, but she's saying that you should be working with your instinct and intuition rather than your intellect only at this time. In fact, she says, probably the best course of action for you, just for the moment, is to just be quiet and hard-working, practical, sensible, and move forward. Now listen, the people that are represented by this energy here in this position, they can really demonstrate the finest of the quieter qualities. But what is the case with this person here, and it could well be for you, that in a sort of a quiet and unassuming way, you're actually going to be very lusty and sexy. People are going to find you very attractive during this period. This is a time of fruitfulness, of physical nourishment, and overcoming, I think, what has been something of a barren past. Yeah, that's what I'm getting here. Really, the barren past. She's that sort of motherly, nurturing effect is what I'm getting. And she expresses herself practically. She does express her love through domestic duties and a career, doing it to demonstrate love to other people. And certainly this is someone who strives to create a secure home environment. But there is the need to find time to nurture yourself at this period is what I think. She represents prosperity and security. And this is no accident given this card's appearance as well. Now, what I think has happened here also is that she has come to tell you that you have learned through the journeys that you have undertaken, and you are achieving your vision from learning the lessons of the past and by working on yourself. Now, she has strength and adaptability, and if anybody has adaptability, that's you, isn't it? And the ability to go with the flow, which gets her through any difficult periods. You know, our lives invariably change, but you will be pursuing a steady, straight course during this period. Now, in some respects, she has channeled all her energies into working on herself and achieving in the world. But I think that what it is that's going on is that you are now thinking that you need to be giving consideration to other things as well, rather than just sheer material achievement. But because you've been working on yourself and the stage you are in your life and in your work, you've seen that you've achieved things and you've come to an oasis where you are allowing things to happen. You have passed through an arid stretch on your journey and have now arrived in more fruitful surroundings. Now you can rest and devote some attention to yourself and to your physical needs. Now, actually, in what ways have you neglected your body, your outer self? And do you indulge yourself? So devote some more attention to your health and to your beauty at this time. And say this to yourself: I give my body the gift of loving attention. It gives me the gift of life energy, joy in living and in health. And that takes us finally, I think, to this card, which is it is finally, isn't it? To the 10 of Cups. Now this 10, this is interesting because in this position where it is here with the Queen of Coins and with the 3 opposite it, it is Mars ruling the 3rd decan of Pisces, which is the 9th to the 19th of March. This is the Lord of perfected success. Mars in Pisces. What you have here is satisfaction, fulfillment, radiating magnetism out of you. Now, you might think that Mars in Pisces is a problem because Pisces is very gentle, Pisces is spiritual. Mars is very often aggressive. It's known as the lesser benefic in the zodiac. And so you'd say there's a problem there. But Mars in the constellation of Pisces, which is very spiritual, expresses itself not by being crude or aggressive or unruly, but by providing the apparently fragile being with the decisiveness needed to bring forth into the outer world the beauty which it holds deep within. Now, this doesn't require any dramatic demonstrations of emotion. A fulfilled person simply radiates this quality and is recognized by the fruits that she or he bears. So this is speaking to me of a great emotional stability, a happy family unit, and of dreams becoming a reality. There is also here, though, in a sense, coming around from the outside of it, is a sort of a sense of a fleeting sort of happiness which is short-lived and which has lost its ability to fulfill you. And I think what that is, it doesn't relate to inner emotions, but it relates to consumer things. Maybe you bought something that you thought was going to make you happy, but then you've become bored with it and you want to move on to the next thing. But in a relationship setting, it could relate to the loss of pleasure in what the relationship brings. And therefore you either have to alter the dynamic of the relationship or move away from it. Do you see, it's almost like if you hold a cup underneath a faucet and turn the faucet on, the water comes in, well, the water's of the emotion, the cup gets full, and then the water spills over the edge. There's a sense that I'm just wondering whether is that something that's going through your mind, whether there is an emotional connection, which has sort of, it's not as if you're not happy, but you're full, and you're asking yourself whether there's anything further can be gained from it. Well, I guess there's a couple of things that you could consider. The first thing to do is to say, well, I'm going to move away from the relationship. No, I never suggest things like that. The other thing to do, of course, is to alter the dynamic of the relationship and to use that example, is to get a larger cup so that more of that emotion can fill in by doing something which enables more emotion to be felt. But in any event, I think you should let things develop by themselves, because everything comes to you now at the right moment. So again, what does that fullness mean for you in this situation? Say this to yourself. Well, before that, there is, I think, a great deal of emotional passion and vitality around here. But this is a 10. And it does start to devolve away. So again, that dynamic is something which, it's not troubling me, but it's something which I think needs to be looked at, and you need to consider. Now, it doesn't just have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a business relationship. It could be a supplier relationship. It could be some relationship, or it's a connection with another person or persons. It could be a work type of a thing. Say this, though. Look, I've come through the barren past. I'm here at the oasis. I know what I'm going to do. I'm full of confidence, and life gives me everything that I need to be happy. Well, what a fantastic, fantastic spread of cards for you. Good job. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. It really was an interesting reading, and great things are in store for you this month. I found the artwork, did you not, to be quite interesting. It's not the type of thing that you see every day, is it? But anyway, there'll be a different deck for next month. But in the meantime, I want you to remember one thing and one thing only, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.